What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and continue learning about Japan's 47 prefectures, part 2. If you have not seen part 1, feel free to check that out or stay right here where you are. That's perfectly fine. But in part 1, I started learning about all 47! There are so many Japanese prefectures, most of which I have never heard of in my entire life. So I'm actually really happy to finally be fixing that, finally learn about this stuff. I mean, I can kind of compare the 47 prefectures a little bit to the United States, how we have 50 different states. And all of our states are kind of unique. Just like the Japanese prefectures, they all have kind of their own culture, their own unique histories, and their own kind of flag and their own thing going on. So I can relate a little bit to it, but still, it's a lot. So in part 1, I learned all about the prefectures in Hokkaido, in Tohoku, and Kanto, and in Chubu. So, I don't know, we're like roughly halfway through, but I'm very, very excited to continue learning about all the other prefectures, because so far this is so entertaining. There's so much history and so much unique stuff in every single prefecture. I'm very excited to continue. So, let's take a look.
All right, moving on to the next region, the Kinki region. Kinki. First,
Oh my god. Okay. If you know what kinky means in English, then that's kind of funny.
prefecture, Mie. This is the Ninja Prefecture. This is where ninjas basically came from and trained or originated. You can even walk this.
The Ninja Prefecture. See, I used to associate all of Japan with ninjas, so it's so cool. Like, I love these very, very specific details about all the prefectures. This is literally the place where ninjas came from, and Americans love ninjas.
The streets in a ninja costume. It's totally normal here. They're also known for having the Grand Ise Shrine, the holiest shrine in all of Shintoism. It's also
Wow, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh, there is nothing like this kind of architecture in America at all. This is amazing.
It's also famous for being the place that invented cultured pearls. They're also known for having the famous Ama diver ladies. Jeju Island in South Korea actually has that too. It's really interesting. There's a lot of stories of female divers. And their culinary specialty is Matsuzaka beef and Ise lobster. Can't go wrong with lobster. Ooh,
Wow.
Oh man, this video is making me hungry. Dang.
That's something else I'm learning through this video on the prefectures is Japan really has a lot of seafood, a lot of different fish, and that is also a huge difference between Japan and the United States. A lot of these prefectures have kind of a seafood or fish specialty, which is very, very different to me.
You guys want to get some sushi with me after this? Shiga! This prefecture has the largest lake in all of Japan, Lake Biwa, which takes up a quarter of their entire area. This place is also where the Goshu Ondo dance was created. It has Hikone Castle, again, one of the original 12 castles of Japan.
One of the original 12 castles. He's mentioned these 12 original castles. That is so cool, because America really doesn't have old historical structures like this. I mean, America's not been around that long, but Japan has all these amazing castles and stuff.
You will find a lot of those, what are they called? Shigaraki Takui, or the raccoon dog.
Huh? Is this supposed to be cute or scary? The raccoon dog? Okay. I guess I'd put this in my garden, I guess. Would it, protect my plants, or?
You know those you've seen them all over the place. It was in the Super Mario video game, the number 3, I think. Yeah, where he can turn into a statue. That thing is from here. Lots of companies and factories are from here. That means this prefecture has the largest proportion of manufacturing production out of any prefecture in Japan at over 34%. They probably get their power from that lake. You know, it gives them strength to make things. Kyoto, the Golden Age prefecture.
Kyoto. I've heard of Kyoto. I have only ever heard of Tokyo, and now Kyoto sounds familiar to me as well. I have no idea. Is there something very important in Kyoto that an American like me would have heard of? Sometimes I just hear of random places in Japan because of animes. Like, is there an anime that's in Kyoto? I don't know.
Kyoto was one of the imperial capitals, formerly known as Yamashiro. Dates back all the
Okay.
way to the 6th century. The kabuki theater style also originated in Kyoto as well. They have
Okay, so Kyoto was like a capital at one point. I think that's what it is.
the best geishas in all of Japan, supposedly, I guess. They have a lot of temples and castles.
Wow.
And Nintendo is based here as well.
Oh, and Nintendo is in Kyoto. Maybe that's it. Nintendo. That might be the thing that Americans associate most with Japan. Nintendo. I don't know.
Osaka, the second largest city in Japan.
Osaka. And I've heard of Osaka. Okay. Some of this stuff I've heard of. Like, the vast majority of all of this Japanese locations and all of the geography, I've never heard of. But I at least know Tokyo and Osaka now.
Japan, if you don't include the general Tokyo metropolitan area with the surrounding prefectures. Osaka is known for two things, food and comedy. It is said that some of the best and funniest people from Japan come from Osaka, and they have great food.
I love that. Japanese comedy is very, very unique. And there's a lot of great clips on YouTube, I think, of funny Japanese shows, reality shows, game shows, and other comedies that I'd like to actually look at those sometime. That seems hilarious.
Food here, everybody knows they have their own style of okonomiyaki. They're also known for being some of the nicest people, but they also have a lot of ties to the Yakuza. Hyogo,
Oh.
this is kind of like the Seattle or Washington
Funny enough, most Americans have heard of the Yakuza. Like, that's kind of famous because it's kind of edgy, you know?
state of Japan. They're huge on like lumber and IT. They have one of the world's
Okay.
fastest supercomputers. Culinary-wise, they are known for Kobe beef. Yes, in the city of Kobe.
Oh, Kobe beef. Oh, it's Kobe, not Kobe. Kobe beef. That's good to know. I'm sure my pronunciation is terrible with all of these Japanese names that I'm trying to say. Forgive me. But I know Kobe beef. This is like extraordinarily high quality beef, right?
The highest quality beef in Japan. And they have Himeji, again, one of the original 12 castles of Japan.
Wow.
The most well-preserved and visited castle in Japan as well. It's the most
Wow.
famous one. Nara. This is the history prefecture of Japan. It was actually the capital before Kyoto. And it has more
Okay.
UNESCO heritage sites than any prefecture in all of Japan.
Wow.
Todaji Temple, the largest Buddhist complex with the largest bronze statue of Buddha.
I love how Japan has done such an amazing job at preserving all of these historical places and statues and artifacts. So much of Japanese history seems to like still be intact. You can go visit it still to this day.
They're known for having a lot of deer just like roaming around everywhere.
Huh?
And they're really huge into calligraphy. In fact, Nara is even known for
Okay.
having those massive Nara brushes that are like as big as a person.
Oh my gosh, what is this? What what on earth is he writing? What is so important that it has to be like 5 times bigger than a person? That's amazing. This is like an art form though. Like a lot of skill here.
And paint something with those massive... I don't know how they do it, but kudos to them for doing it. Wakayama, the Buddhist prefecture. Mount Koya is the headquarters of the Shingon sect of Japanese Buddhism, and it is home to the first Japanese-style Buddhist temple.
Okay.
Every year there's a pilgrimage that goes to Mount Koya. So yeah, Buddhism is a big deal out here. Otherwise, they're known for also just having really good weather. They produce a lot of oranges, and 70% of Japan's ume, or their Japanese plum. And they have the largest...
Ume? I've never heard of ume. Japanese plum. I wonder what that's like. Huh.
waterfall in Japan as well, Nachi Falls.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wait, what is this? Wow, and it's by this temple as well? This looks like the most peaceful place on the planet right here, especially this waterfall.
Wakayama. You gotta walk Yaman all the way to the Buddhist pilgrimage site.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Next region, Chugoku. First prefecture, Tottori. The one thing everyone knows about this place, they have the largest sand dunes in all of Japan. And
I did not know that Japan had so much, like, variety of geography. Like, there's Japanese forests, there's mountains, there's glaciers, and there's sand. Like, this almost looks like a desert. I didn't know Japan had so many different types of climate, so many different types of landscape. That's amazing.
Of Japan. And they take their sand very seriously. They have like a sand museum with sculptures, and they have like a sand festival. It's sand. It is the least populous prefecture with only about 600,000 people. What else? Okay. They're known for having pink curry called Oenokian. Shimane. Very obscure and rural. It is actually the second least populous prefecture. Not a lot of people know much about this place other than it has the Izumo Taisha Shrine and Matsue Castle. Again, one of the original 12 castles of Japan. They're also known for having some of the best pottery in Japan, though, following the Fujinayaki style. They have
nice. I mean, it's amazing how many different styles of everything. Every prefecture has its own style, like its own food, its own specialty. Like, it's truly amazing how many different little cultures are within the Japanese culture as a whole. It's amazing. It's so fun to learn about.
A very famous Izumo soba, which has duck in it. But their signature dish is taimeshi, okayama. If there's one thing...
Okayama. I might have heard of Okayama. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm imagining that or not.
Every Japanese person knows about this place. It is the Legend of Momotaro. Basically, it's the story about a boy that was born out of a peach, and he grows up to fight demons with his 3 sidekicks, a dog, a pheasant, and a monkey.
What? Is this like some kind of famous Japanese legend or fairy tale or story? I've never heard of this.
That's my kind of story. I love that. They have the Hadaka Matsuri, or the Naked Man Festival, and they have the
the Naked Man Festival? What's that for? I don't know. I'll have to learn about that some other time.
Bichu Matsuyama Castle. Again, one of the original 12 castles of Japan. Hiroshima. Everyone knows this is a place where the atomic bomb was dropped during World War II.
Yes.
A lot of memorials to it. The people here are known for being kind of like really hot-tempered. There's a lot of motorcycle gangs apparently from here as well. They have that really famous Itsukushima Tori. And you've seen it probably in so many postcards or whatever.
Oh, what is this? This is cool. This is something that Hiroshima is famous for, this shrine. It's really unique. And it's like in the middle of the water.
Mazda, the company, is from here as well. And they're very famous for their style of okonomiyaki. And they say a lot of people in the Yakuza, kind of speak with a Hiroshima accent. Yamaguchi!
Oh. Do the different prefectures have different accents? Different Japanese accents within the different prefectures? I never thought of that. I guess that makes sense. In the United States, people who live in different states here have different accents. So it makes sense that that would happen in Japan as well, based on where you live. I never thought about that. Wow, okay.
This place had a huge historical role as, the Chosu domain helped overthrow the shogun during the Meiji Restoration period. This place is also kind of famous for being the place where, fugu, that, pufferfish. A lot of people...
The pufferfish? Somehow, this story is also very, very, very famous in America. Like, Americans don't know much about Japan. Trust me, I'm one of them who doesn't know much about Japan. But for some reason, the pufferfish is very famous. Like the story of how Japanese have to prepare the poisonous pufferfish is very well known in the United States. Huh.
Train here to learn how to properly cut the fugu fish so that when you eat it, you don't die because a lot of it is poisonous. It also has the highest concentration of caves and karst formations. It also has the largest cave in Japan. Region number 7, Shikoku. Nobody pays attention to Shikoku. But there's a lot of cool things.
What?
First prefecture, Tokushima. They have that really cool Awadori festival. Lots of crazy things going on. They have the Naruto.
Look at this bridge. I was just about to say, the amount of festivals that Japan has is unbelievable, and they all seem so incredible and like very traditional as well. It just seems like every prefecture has a festival, which is awesome. Now this bridge, does this connect the two regions?
Kaikyo Canal. It has some of the roughest currents in all of Japan. Lots of farmland. It's very rural. This is probably the least known prefecture, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awadori is probably the biggest thing they got going on. Sorry. If you got anything else, let me know. Kagawa, the smallest prefecture in land area. They are known for making some of the best udon in all of Japan. And their udon has chicken thigh on it. Oh, the best part of the chicken. Known as Honetsukidori. I love
Chicken thigh. I'm not sure if I've had chicken thigh, or I've never thought about that, but hey, if this prefecture is known for good food, sign me up. That's all I gotta hear. Okay.
I love udon. I love carbs. I don't care. People say don't eat carbs. No, not me. I'm Carby Barbie. I eat that down. This was the first place in all of Japan to cultivate olives. They have the Seto Ohashi Bridge, which connects to Honshu. They have Marugame, one of the 12 original castles again.
I never realized how many islands that Japan was comprised of, and it's amazing all these gigantic tunnels and bridges that connect all the regions of Japan. I never really ever thought about that.
Ehime. This guy is small, but they have 2 of the original 12 castles of Japan. Uwajima and Matsuyama. And it's known for just having one of the best bicycling routes in all of Japan.
Oh, okay.
The area is just perfect. The path is nice and smooth.
This seems like a really nice place to live. Got all the castles, you can bicycle, you know?
It sounds like a really chill, it's a chill, calm place, I would say.
Seems
Kochi,
nice.
again, has one of the 12 original castles in it. Man, Shikoku, you are killing it with these castles. They have the Shimanto River, which is pretty much the only main large river in Japan that does...
Wow, this is beautiful. This is the largest river in Japan. See, I didn't even know Japan had a river. All these little basic things that I never knew. I'm glad I'm finally learning.
Does not have a dam on it. They have Sakamoto Ryoma, the legendary samurai who led a revolution. He's so popular they put his face on cappuccinos. They love skipjack tuna and skipjack tuna fishing. Their mascot is even Katsuo Ningen, a walking dead fish. Yeah. And finally, region number 8, Kyushu. Prefecture number 1, Fukuoka. The last and final prefecture known for having the most beautiful women in Japan. This is basically the richest and most economically successful part of Kyushu Island. They are known for having the best tonkatsu ramen. If you want a good kimono, it is said you come to this prefecture. They make a lot of great kimonos out here. Like the silk is made in the other place, but the kimonos are made here.
I don't know much about kimonos, Japanese kimonos. So this is also very interesting to me, that there's a prefecture that's known for the greatest, most beautiful, high-quality kimonos. That's cool. That's a very Japanese thing, a kimono. I don't know much about it.
Saga. They are known for having the most mochi produced here. They have a lot of cool shrines, the most famous one probably being the Yutoku Inari Shrine.
Nice.
They have the international...
There's a lot of shrines around Japan. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of a shrine is, especially in Japan, or why there are so many. That's something else I'll have to learn about.
Balloon festival here, which looks really cool. They have the Garalympics, which is the mud flat Olympics.
Oh,
they have the
all right. This is like something that Americans would do. Run around in the mud for a contest. Yeah.
Olympics, which is the mud flat Olympics. They have the Imari Tonten Festival, and it's kind of like a battle that takes place between 2 shrines.
What?
And Yoshinogari Park has some of the oldest settlements in Japan, very well preserved. Nagasaki. This is the other place that was bombed in World War II.
Yep.
Basically, Nagasaki was like the place in Japan that opened up to the outside world. It was the first place where Europeans arrived, the Portuguese, they started trading. It also has the highest...
That's amazing. Yeah, in another video, I was learning about the history of Japan and learning about Nagasaki and its role as basically being the doorway for the rest of the world to visit Japan for the first time. That's pretty incredible.
Concentration of Christians in Japan. And they're also known for that Gukanjima Battleship Island. Looks pretty cool.
What? What is this? What on earth?
They're also known for that Gukanjima.
Gukanjima? What is this? It's like a man-made island. What is this for? Okay.
Battleship Island. Looks pretty cool. Kumamoto. Everyone knows this place from their mascot, the bear thing. Everywhere.
What is this? I'm not familiar with this mascot. What is this?
It's popular all over Japan. Kumamoto, everybody knows.
Okay.
Let's see what else I got. I got
All
the
right.
Black Castle, the gardens at Suizenji Jujin,
Wow.
and apparently I was told they make really good fried chicken here. Oita,
Okay.
probably the most famous hot spring prefecture. They rank
That's another very Japanese thing I'm learning about. All these hot springs? Is that because Japan has volcanoes? Is that how you can have hot springs? Because I've never heard of like hot springs like anywhere in the United States. And as soon as I start learning about Japan, there's all of these hot springs. It's so cool.
number 1 in Japan's thermal hot spring and geothermal power output, and number
Okay.
2 in the world after Yellowstone Park in the USA. A
Okay.
lot of geothermal activity. The most famous one, and maybe the most famous in all of Japan, the Beppu Hot Springs. It is also
Okay.
said that shiitake mushrooms originated here, and today they are the number 1 producer of shiitake. And also, they're
Okay.
known for suffering from bad typhoons. Sometimes you just get pummeled by nature. Miyazaki. No, Hayao Miyazaki is not from here. This
Yeah, Miyazaki. I was gonna say, I know Miyazaki. That's a famous person, though.
is where Japan like really starts to get a little tropical and like, humid and temperate. This is like where palm trees start growing in Japan.
What? What? Again, like, I had no idea there was so much different climates in Japan. Like, there's desert, sand, forests, mountains, glaciers, snow, and tropical? Like, it looks like there's palm trees or something. What?
Japan, like that's how south you go. Otherwise, yeah, Miyazaki has really good beaches.
Yeah, it's got beaches. I didn't know Japan had beautiful beaches. What?
You can go surfing. It's a great surf spot. Cool shrines. There's that really big 37-meter tall Peace Tower thing. It's like the
Whoa.
most iconic landmark. They have that really cool looking Takachiho Gorge.
Oh, this is awesome. Oh my gosh, there are so many cool little places. Like, I was saying this before, a lot of Americans, I think, just focus on if we're gonna visit Japan, we really visit Tokyo. But there's so many amazing, beautiful places that you can see all over Japan.
You can take a boat and go through it. Kagoshima. This is the last part of the mainland before you get the Ryukyu Island chain. They have some of the
Okay.
most famous active volcanoes in Sakurajima, and they have one of the weirdest
Wow, there's active volcanoes in Japan. I did not know that. Is that dangerous?
dialects in all of Japan. Sometimes it's complete
Oh, what is this?
Jima, and they have one of the weirdest dialects in all of Japan.
Okay.
Sometimes it's completely unintelligible. And some people
Oh, so they speak very uniquely. They speak very differently than a lot of other parts of Japan. Interesting. Like the accent, the dialect.
in the islands offshore, they even have like what is considered their own languages. It's also home to Tanegashima, Japan's spaceport and
Cool.
launch pad where they shoot rockets into space.
Cool.
And finally, Okinawa. You've probably all heard of this one, and it's
Okinawa. I have heard of Okinawa. There's only a couple places I've ever heard of. I have heard of Okinawa.
basically the Hawaii of Japan. Okinawan people actually have their own language and traditions and customs that are completely different from the mainland. This is where karate
I did not know that Okinawa was separate from mainland Japan. It's like an island, like kind of off the mainland, and kind of really its own kind of Japanese culture, like very much its own little island community. I had no idea. He even compared it a little bit to like Hawaii in America. That makes sense to me.
their own language and traditions and customs that are completely different from the mainland. This is where karate originated. This is also where one of the most famous American army bases is stationed, hence where karate was introduced to the US. It was brought from Okinawa. They have a
Oh my gosh, that is huge. Karate was literally invented. I didn't actually know karate was a Japanese like fighting style, and it's from Okinawa. And because Americans have a military base there, that's how we first learned about it. Wow. Okay.
lot of unique food and vegetables and fruits that are only grown here and not on the mainland. Lots of beautiful white sand beaches and resorts.
Yeah.
And, Okinawan people are known for having the longest life expectancy in all of Japan. They
The longest life expectancy.
just have a really healthy diet. So they're
What's their secrets? Wait, there's this one place in Japan, Okinawa, that has the longest living people. What's the secret?
There you go. In a very condensed format, that's the 47 prefectures of Japan. There's a
Wow.
lot of stuff I missed out on, a lot of stuff I could have mentioned. But, it's kind of hard to make a video when you have to do 47 of anything. But yeah, if any of you guys have been to any of these prefectures, feel free to let me know. Write in the comments, what was your experience like? What did you like the most?
Wow, that's fantastic. This video was by Geography Now, and I gotta give it a like, because that was amazing. Yeah, obviously there's no great way that I'm going to be able to learn about all 47 prefectures in one video. Honestly, I'd like to learn about each prefecture individually at some point. But this was a fantastic place to start, and I feel like I have a much better understanding of Japan as a whole by having been introduced to all 47 of the prefectures that make up Japan. And I don't know, the biggest thing I think I took away from this is that Japan is a big place, and there's a lot of different places and people and traditions and festivals and climates, so much more than I ever imagined. And that's awesome. Like, that is such a pleasure to learn about. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Japan and Japanese culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.